Board Game Empire. So today we're going to be doing a review of Trekking the World.
Okay, so this is a great family board game. It's set collection, kind of point salad. You're moving your meeples around. You're trying to gain resources kind of from different locations. And then if you finish all the locations, you also get bonus points. If you have the most resources for a certain pretty much color, then you get more points. Souvenirs. Yeah, and then you also get one of these if you have the most for one of the colors. So there's a lot to strategy to this game. So we're just going to jump right into the review. What do you think about the rules?
I would give the rules a 5 out of 5. We had absolutely no questions at all. It was super easy to learn.
Okay, so I'm going to give the rules a 5 out of 5. Great rule book. It's actually only 7 pages long, so it is tailored more for a family game. So it's in the lighter weight category. And you also have player aids that help you with the flow of the game and learning it quick. So what did you think about the components?
I'll give the components a 5 out of 5. I like both the suitcases with all your souvenirs, and I like these cubes. I really like the meeples. I like this as well. It's a cool thing. And the card actually had pretty good quality.
Oh yeah, really good quality.
And I wish the board was a little bit more where it didn't like stand up like that. But apart from that, components are really good. So I would give it a 5 out of 5.
I would give the components a 5 out of 5. Great components. These are really nice and thick, and they have a texture kind of on them. The board could be better because it does elevate a little bit. The wooden little pieces are nice and lightweight. The meeples are cute. Also, these are what are these, souvenirs?
Souvenirs.
These are really nice and thick, and the cards are really thick, even the big ones.
Yeah.
So just phenomenal in the component quality. So 5 out of 5. What did you think about the experience?
I would give the experience a 5 out of 5, and I like some of the mechanics, which I'll explain later. But we did have a great experience, and it was really fun because we had no rule questions, and it was simple, but it still had a lot of strategy to it.
Okay, so I'll give the experience 5 out of 5. Great experience. Very simple game to learn, like I stated before, and there is a progression because as you're able to obtain cards, and you're able to get more points for your resources. So you're kind of building your tableau and doing stuff. So very strategic, but yet still extremely lightweight, where you can introduce this to kids that are like 8 or adults that are older. So 5 out of 5 in the experience. What do you think about the mechanics?
I do like the mechanics. I like how it has some take that mechanics where you can kind of block people and like do certain things. I like the souvenirs, how you have to collect the most of them, and I like how you have to go to certain locations and have certain resources. So there definitely is lots of point salad, and the cards are like really significant, but sometimes it's really hard to get the cards. Like once you do a lot of these, what are those called again?
Vacations.
Vacations. It's really hard to get cards. Like sometimes maybe you need a blue.
Or take a tour.
Or you need like 2 purple. So it's sometimes. Can I see all this?
No, I can't.
Can you see it now?
Yeah. I just put it right up here.
Here.
So you need these cards to pretty much obtain the tour cards.
Yeah, but sometimes it's really hard to gain them though. And that's one thing. I would say or maybe a little bit easier because there's been times where it's taken like the whole game just to get something just for someone to take it. Because it's really hard to get these once you take so many tours, which is basically your main points.
Yeah. So I'll give the mechanics 4 out of 5 because it is a little bit.
I didn't give the mechanics rating. I would rate it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, because it is a little simplistic. Because all you're doing is you're moving your meeple, and it's determined on your cards. Like right here it would be like 1, so I would only be able to move 1. if I use 3 of my cards, I'll be able to move 3 spots, and you gain the resource where you stop. These resources pretty much only help on the pretty much the suitcase, and then also to get the tour, you have to go to the certain location, and then you have to have all the cards of that icon or color, and then you'll be able to obtain it. And then you only have a certain amount of moves per turn, and so the game is it's perfect amount of time, I would say, to play. It's like 30-40 minutes. So the time length is perfect. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's very lightweight.
Yeah.
So, and there is somewhat of a strategic element to it. So really cool design and mechanics. 4 out of 5. What do you think about replayability?
I would give the replayability like a 3 out of 5, because the one thing is about this game is all the cars are basically the same. They're just different colors. They're numbered 1 to 3, and basically, I wish that maybe this board was double-sided. And the thing is that there's the different. Once you play the game, you get used to all the locations and everything. And there's only 2 reasons the journey levels are always the same.
No, there's 20 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or those just the starter ones?
Yeah.
Oh wait, they are, but some of those are different.
Yeah.
But I wish that maybe you had like maybe A, B, like there's A and B, but I wish there's maybe like C or D to give you maybe more options, because I feel like 2 really isn't enough options.
Yeah,
there's really not that many options in this game. You're kind of just going with what you have, like what you know what to do, and basically what your cards are given to you. I would like maybe there would be a little bit more options, but I do see this is supposed to be more of a kind of lighter gateway game, so maybe introducing more thought into it would make it a little bit more complex and make it a little bit harder for it to come to the table for newer gamers. But I do think it would definitely elevate its experience if you get the hang of it.
Okay, so I'll give it like a 3.5 out of 5 on the replayability. For some of the same reasons he stated, it's just there's not enough of a strategic element to the game. So for the people that been playing board games for a while, this would be on the lighter side, and there's a lot of lighter games that have more strategic elements that pretty much fit in the same time frame. And so I wish that, like he stated, the journey log would have more options than just the 2. Also wish that there was more ways to kind of mitigate each other's movements. It's pretty much like you're just gaining your cards and you're moving. You're doing the best move that you can. So you're kind of playing the game, but the game's playing you, because there's not much you could do to, do anything to reverse it or, take out your opponent, or, you don't have this great movement where you have a aha moment. So you're literally just playing what you have, and so that's why I give it a 3.5.
Yeah, there's not enough card variety, because they're all just different colors, and it's 1, 2, 3, A, B.
Yeah, so that's why I'm giving a 3.5 out of 5 in the replayability. What do you think about overall total?
I would give this game like a 3 out of 5, 6.5 out of 5, simply because it's a little bit on the lighter side. It was a fun experience and easy to learn, but it's so light that I couldn't really see experienced gamers really I think they would kind of want a little bit more games and more thought, because while playing this game, there really was no turns where I really had to think my moves. I was kind of just by the time it was my turn, I already knew what I was going to do. It was obvious what I was going to do. And you can kind of block people, but at the same time, you're kind of in your own little world, because if you try to block people, then then you're pretty much just letting the other player win. You're letting, like if you're playing with 3 players, if you're blocking one person, you're basically just letting the other person just be in your own little wall and win. So it's kind of hard to simultaneously block people, but you also want to like score the most you can, but you have to block people because sometimes you won't be able to get the card. Like there's one time where it was a card that needed two of these and one of these, and basically it was like then someone stole from me, and then basically I pretty much lost the game because of that. And I wish there was maybe more things to do if you're on a location, like maybe like for every location you can maybe like if you don't have enough cards to move, then maybe you could like do something. Like I wish there was also more ways to move, because a lot of the times when I wanted to move, I didn't simply have the cards that I wanted to use, because you have to use a card to move in your turn. There's a lot of times where I used a card that I needed to also finish that. So I never really felt I had enough cards. So I kind of wish you could just skip your turn and maybe draw like 4 cards. I think that would be helpful. Because,
or maybe if you could use one of your resources you grab to pretty much manipulate your movement.
Oh, there's another thing. There's always going to be one person who gets like 3 extra resources. I think if you have, and for every single resource you have in here, that should be able to get you a card of your choice for every for every 2 resources that you have over the amount, because it feels like there's always going to be someone who has those resources that they can't even use, and it just goes to waste because you really can't do anything with them once you get past 4.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I give it a 7 out of 10, like a 3 out of 5. This is a great family lightweight game, and I see the how they developed it for that specific reason. I think this is more for retail. The more complex gamers will kind of look at this. They'll play it. It's fun, but it's a little bit light on the strategic and the ways you can manipulate the game. So more the bigger gamers are just going to have issues with it. But if you're playing this with your kids or your parents or something like that, I think this would be one of the games that would be easily introduced for that reason. And so that's, I think that's the market that this game is intended for. So I give it a 7 out of 10, 3 out of 5. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Social media is down below in the description. We'll have a link where to buy the game, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye!